Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to get into today's episode with you. This is one that I think is going to hit hard for a lot of you. So we're going to go over 5 steps to take when you fall off your routines and how to finally stop starting over. Okay? Every single time I record an episode, I'm always thinking about my younger self because sometimes I just want to give her such a big hug because I know how challenging it was to be in that headspace. And just looking at where I am now, I just want to tell her to keep going because there were so many times that I could have given up on myself because I was constantly being so hard on myself about like falling off or this all or nothing mindset. I gave up on myself every other week. And so anyways, if you're in this place, I just want to encourage you not to give up on yourself, okay? Because there is another way that you can reach your dream body, have body confidence, stay consistent with your routines and habits, okay? I promise you there is, and it has nothing to do with willpower, okay? I hate when people are like, you just need more discipline, you just need more willpower. It's not about that, okay? Because if you're dysregulated, that part of your brain literally shuts off. So it's honestly so much deeper than that, and a lot of people just don't realize that. So let's get into the episode. Step number 1 is to heal your beliefs so you can finally stay on track. Look, I know I probably sound like a broken record, but if you're not staying consistent with something and you're constantly falling off, this is because there is some part of your brain that thinks it's safer to continue to stay where you are in your comfort zone than it is to reach this new goal or stay consistent with whatever it is that you're doing. Because if your brain thought it was more beneficial and safer to work out every day, to reach your dream body, whatever it may be, your brain would do everything in its power to make that happen. But the thing is that our brains are wired for safety, okay? Our environment, our lives have evolved so much quicker than our brains have. And that's why it's not wired for reaching goals and being fit and being optimal. Your brain is just wired for safety. So we don't want to hate on our brain for that, but we just need to understand because knowledge is power. Again, if you are consistently falling off, that just means that you're self-sabotaging for a reason, and we just need to figure out what that hidden advantage is. There's a hidden advantage of why your brain is continuing to have you fall off. It could be fear of failure. It could be that when you were growing up, you kind of had this inconsistency and it was a little bit chaotic. There's nothing wrong with having that as your childhood, but that's what you're comfortable and you're used to. Even if consciously you're like, this is so uncomfortable, I hate falling off every other week. If you grew up that way, the same change is scary, and staying the same and repeating patterns is safe to your brain. So that's why you're constantly seeing the same patterns over and over and over again. So in order to actually stick with your habits, you need to understand what those beliefs are so you can change them at a subconscious level. Okay. Number 2 is looking at your diet. Okay. Yes, the mindset, the inner work is very powerful, but you also need to look at your diet. Okay. We're eating whole foods 95% of the time. I feel like a lot of people think that that's overkill and that that's too much and unnecessary and like the 80-20 rule or whatever. Okay, I'm in the business of feeling fucking good and looking really good. Okay, and for me, food is nourishment and you can make anything healthy. I think this is something that people don't understand is you can eat burgers a nutrient dense way, and you can eat burgers a non-nutrient dense way. You can even eat a salad a nutrient dense way, and you can eat it a not nutrient dense way, okay? Example, even for the salad, okay? You can eat a salad that has lots of fiber and plants and maybe like a light balsamic dressing. Or you can get a Caesar salad with croutons and super heavy Caesar dressing that could potentially be less nutrient dense than eating a burger, okay? This is why ingredients are so important. I love protein. I think protein is very important. But what's more important is eating whole foods. I think everyone is on this, you need a bajillion grams of protein. No, what you need we're actually going to talk about in one of the next tips, but it has to do with whole foods, okay? You need plants in order to create a way of eating that works for you is to test out different types of foods, okay? What you can do is go on to ChatGPT, tell them your favorite recipe and say you're really trying to eat whole foods. How can I make this meal super nutrient dense? Like I said, the most important thing to me is feeling good. And the way you're going to feel good is by eating whole foods. And the way you're going to show up energized for the day is by feeling good, okay? I believe that nutrition is the foundation for feeling good, and it's so important that you take that seriously. But again, it doesn't have to be miserable, doesn't have to be boring. You can make healthy food very quick and taste absolutely amazing, okay? Quickly share some of my favorite recipes right now. So one of them, we've been doing broccoli, beef, and rice. We make this chipotle mayo. It's literally just avocado mayo and sriracha mixed together, and it is so good. In the beef, literally every time we make beef, I literally add onion and garlic. No matter what recipe I'm making, onion, garlic. That is like the foundation of making anything taste good, okay? Another thing I've been having recently is curry. I've been making tofu in the oven and having curry. It is so good, and I'm making the sauce from scratch. It's literally coconut milk and curry powder and turmeric powder and a little bit of maple syrup to sweeten it. It's so easy. Again, super easy, super simple, super healthy. And with whole foods too, we're not thinking about shrinking ourselves or losing weight. I actually heard someone say this the other day and I really loved it. A mindset shift from losing weight to reaching your dream body. The reason it's different is because people don't like to lose things. When you think about like losing anything, even you lost your wallet or, you know, whatever it may be, people don't like losing things. And so when you can shift to I'm reaching my dream body, I'm nourishing my body, it completely shifts how you feel about how you show up and take care of your body. Number 3 is take a look at your workout routine, okay? Are you working out? Are you trying to do too much? Or are you trying to do too little of the type of workouts that actually light you up, okay? Moving your body gets to be fun. It doesn't have to be this miserable thing where you force yourself to go to the gym, okay? I forced myself to do strict workouts and it's too much. Even after I got my personal training certificate, there was still a period of time where I was like, okay, I gotta force myself to do this type of workouts when it's like, I could never stick with it because I didn't truly love that way of working out. It was boring to me. I'm a dancer. I need to be creative while I'm moving. And it took me a really long time to figure out I don't have to show up and be a gym rat to have the body of my dreams. I get to move in ways that I love. And so I just want to challenge you to expand your mind into what working out actually looks like, okay? That could be pole dancing like me. That's my favorite form of movement right now. Even golfing. I walk when I golf. And so that's huge. Like I literally walk, I think 15,000 steps in one round. Okay, there's pickleball, there's paddleboarding. Yes, of course, there's, you know, working out at a gym or going to Pilates, whatever it may be. But even 10 to 15 minutes with some little ball of weights or little 5-pound weights, you can do so much. Because working out in terms of your dream body is more about feeling good than it is about actually making you lose weight, quote unquote. Okay, that's a small percentage of your calories burned. Nutrition and stress are the 2 biggest impact with reaching your dream body. Okay, so when you think about moving your body, don't look at it as, oh, this is the thing that's going to make me have my dream body, okay? It's just going to enhance how you feel so you can show up energized in your day-to-day life, okay? So find a workout routine that sounds fun to you, okay? And I'm not saying like, don't set any schedule for yourself, okay? Because that also could be a recipe for you just not to show up at all. But if you create structure and a little bit of intuition and listening to your body and what sounds fun, that's where the real magic is, okay? So maybe you decide you're gonna move your body 5 days a week, okay? But depending on that day, depends on what you do. Okay. And maybe you do need to plan out a little bit more ahead of time. Okay. But it's about figuring out what works for you. in your body, in your lifestyle, because you are a bio individual and no one else has your body except you. So you need to figure out what works for you. What works for you is not what works for me, okay? And also there are seasons, okay? Sometimes I do want to plan my workouts a little bit more where I'm like, okay, Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to do a little bit more lightweight or strength training in my garage. And then Wednesday and Friday, I'm going to pull, or Friday I'm golfing, and I'm Monday, Wednesday. Like, make it work for you, but just know that it's okay if there's seasons of, I want to plan a little bit more of my workouts, and the next week or season you decide that you don't want to plan it as much. That doesn't mean that you're falling off, okay? It just means that you're shifting and flowing as life does, okay? We can't expect ourselves to just stay exactly the same and do the exact same habits every single day. If our life is constantly moving and constantly up and down and things are shifting, okay, we need to move with it and not fight against it. Number 4, I kind of already touched on this, but you need to prioritize fiber. Fiber. Everyone's protein. And while yes, protein is important to eat, fiber, okay? Fiber literally feeds good bacteria in your gut. Okay, we need fiber to have a healthy gut. Your gut controls so many things. Cravings, okay? It's connected to your hormones. Also, 90% of serotonin is produced in your gut. Your happiness, how you feel, your confidence depends on how good of gut health you have, okay? So, fiber. And a couple of really high fiber foods are avocados, which I don't know why that always surprises me. It doesn't seem like it is a fibrous food, because for some reason in my brain when I think of fiber, I think of like kale, even though kale is like, I think has a decent amount, but it's not like one of the highest. Pears. Those are 2 things I've really been trying to eat a ton of, are pears and avocados, okay? But literally ChatGPT, hey, what are some high fiber foods I can add into my meals? So instead of thinking about what do I need to take away and take out of my food, I want you to think, what can I add to my food? Okay. And number 5 is to regulate your nervous system. You knew this one was coming, okay? You knew it. If your body is dysregulated and in fight or flight, your hormones are thrown off, which means you're stressed. You're probably more stressed. You're probably feeling rushy. There's a couple different ways that dysregulation can kind of show up. It can be that fight or flight, but it also can be a freeze response. If you feel like in your brain, you're like, I need to be doing a million things, but you're kind of frozen and you feel like you can't do anything, that's also a sign of dysregulation. Okay, so there's kind of there's spectrums on dysregulation. It doesn't just show up as like, I'm rushing everywhere. It's fight, flight, or freeze. And regulating your nervous system takes some conscious effort. I'm just going to say it right now, okay? I even go through phases where I feel like I'm super regulated and then I'm super dysregulated. I even had a breathwork session the other day, and that was the first time I had felt regulated in weeks, and it made me realize how dysregulated I was. A lot of the tools that I use with my clients is regulating your nervous system, because it's a big part of, you can't go and look at your subconscious beliefs and be able to be in the present moment if you are dysregulated. You're thinking about a million different things, whether your body is physically moving or not. Your body needs to feel safe to release excess weight. You're also just going to be able to enjoy your life so much more. When you're regulated, you will have so much more willpower, because that piece in your brain is turned on. So you actually have the ability to make conscious choice and not just default to whatever your programming is, okay? And a lot of the work that we do inside the Body Confidence Collective, which is my brand new group coaching program, is all about regulation. Yes, we're going to change your beliefs at a subconscious level so you can show up for your healthy habits. You're also going to learn to regulate your nervous system so your body can feel safe and you can make conscious choice on top of doing the subconscious work. Okay, we'll also be deep diving into holistic health and how to do the inner work so the outer work actually happens, okay? That's what the inner work is about. This is not think about what you want to look like or have your dream body or what the confidence is. You actually have to show up. That's where the results happen, okay? The results don't happen in the mindset work. They happen in the action that you take, and the mindset is the catalyst to that, okay? I just want to talk about some of the shifts that a lot of my clients have been having recently with doing this mindset work, okay? And I'm just going to be reading this off. So this was a session about, essentially she wanted to eat, but she wasn't actually hungry. And so she said, I wasn't craving something sweet anymore. Focusing on finding what my body really needed and ways to nourish it in other ways than food was so helpful to explore. A motivation to exercise session. She said, it shifted my mindset from dreading my workout to being excited to do it. I loved thinking about how good I always feel after a workout and how it's helping my body and not a punishment. Another one was about spiraling when bloating, and she said this was so helpful after overeating, and it absolutely shifted my mindset. Before sessions, I would feel kind of blah and not like myself, but after even just a few minutes into the session, I would feel more energized and just felt such an overall shift in my mood. After the session, I felt 100% calmer and more settled, clear-minded, and more in control of my decisions, mood, and body. My mood completely improved as well. Okay, so all of this mindset work is so you can show up in the real world. Dialing in on your nutrition, making sure you're listening to your body and not overeating, making sure you're listening to your hunger and fullness cues, understanding what a craving actually is trying to tell you, working out in a way that you can actually stick with, okay? Knowing that if you have one bad week, it's not that you've fallen off, it's just a bad week and you can absolutely just keep going, okay? All of this mindset work is so powerful to get you to reach your dream body. I am actually freaking out about this group program. It is going to be absolutely amazing, and I would love to see you in there. If you have any questions, please message me on Instagram. I've got the link down below, and because you're a podcast listener or watching on YouTube, I'm going to extend the sale so you can join right now for less than $40 per week. For just $37 a week, you get access to all of this on top of a whole community of women. You'll always get your questions answered. You will not find this level of depth anywhere on the market for this price, okay? The regular price is $279 a month, so I'm so excited to see you in there. It's going to be so fun and so amazing, and you're going to feel so confident and amazing in your own skin, okay? I can't wait to see you in the Body Confidence Collective. It's going to be absolutely amazing for you. Okay, that was my last tip, the little bonus tip. Join the Body Confidence Collective, okay? That is where you are going to learn to stop falling off, because you're going to shift who you believe that you are. Okay, you're going to be able to show up. You're going to learn not only how to do the inner work, but you're also going to figure out your unique blueprint for workouts, for nutrition, okay? I'm a certified holistic health coach. I'm also a certified personal trainer. So we've got the mindset, we've got the workouts, we've got the nutrition, okay? We are covered on all bases, and I am going to teach you everything you need to know so you can show up and reach your dream body in a way that actually is enjoyable, all while loving your body in the process, okay? That wraps up this episode, my loves. Thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love chatting with you every single week. Don't forget to rate and review the show or subscribe on YouTube. Love you so much. See you in the next one.